If you ask people what they want, they will tell you what they don't want. If you ask them what they want to get, they'll tell you what they want to get rid of. If you ask them what they aspire, they will tell you what they want to avoid. Don't believe me? Okay, I'm going to tell you in a moment how. So this is Divya Tampi, an emotional wellness and a mid-career coach. I'm going to be talking about getting clarity about what you really want. And if you haven't subscribed, you definitely should, so that you get notified every time I come with a new video. Now try this little experiment. Try asking somebody who is already in a job, ask them what kind of a boss would they like. Chances are they will tell you something like, I'd like a boss who's not critical, or I'd like a boss who does not micromanage. Try asking a friend who's married what kind of marriage they'd like. And they may tell you something like, I'd like a marriage with less day-to-day arguments. Or I'd like a partner who's not ungrateful. Try this. Ask somebody about their health. What kind of health would they like? And they tell you, I would not like to have this kind of bad skin. Or I wouldn't want to be overweight. You get the gist, right? I bet you have come across these kind of conversations. So is there a problem with this kind of thinking? Actually, there is. You see, our mind thinks in images. And everything that happens in our life happens twice. Once in our mind and once for real. So if you're constantly thinking about all the things that you don't want, your mind will throw up images of scenes and situations that you don't want in your life. And do you see the irony of this? You are helping create exactly those things that you don't want. Earl Nightingale, who was a very well-known American author and writer, once said that you become what you think about. What this means is, if you are focused on all the things that you don't want, you're working against yourself. You're repeatedly showing your mind images of the very things that you want to avoid in your life. And hence, those are the very things that your mind will subconsciously work on creating. Let's take an example. A client once told me that she was looking for a new job, and hence if I knew of any opportunities to let her know. Being curious about her mission, I asked her to give me a description of the kind of job that she was looking for. So she told me that I'd like a boss who doesn't micromanage and who's not critical. I'd like a job where I do not have to do too much of administrative work. And one where I don't have to travel for 2 hours a day. This was mind-boggling because she had told me everything that she did not want in a job and nothing about what she really wanted. Now imagine what her job search would look like. You know, this is very similar to somebody saying that I want to drive on a road that does not have potholes. But because they are so caught up with the idea of potholes, they will not even think about driving on the highway. The thought will not even cross their minds. They will keep looking for alternative paths or roads where there are no potholes or lesser number of potholes. So if you want a great life, create a vision of what you want. And I have a little trick for this. In my work with people, I often ask them this question. If you got what you wanted, what would that look like? So if someone is talking about losing weight, my question would be, let's imagine that you have lost the weight that you wanted to. If you were to now visualize that, what do you see? This is when I really start hearing the aspirations and dreams. So if you are someone who struggles with articulating what you want and have a tendency to talk about all things that you don't want, then here's what you can do. Close your eyes and imagine what fulfilling your wishes would look like. What does it feel like? What does it then make possible? It is amazing what this kind of thinking can do. It takes you out and beyond the maze of all the things that you don't want to a space where your mind has the freedom to think about all that it desires. And this brings a lot of clarity. But along with clarity, it brings a sense of hope and excitement. Let me go back to the example of someone who wants to change their job. The question would be, What would the new job make possible? And now you would hear answers like, I would have the freedom to do more creative work, I would have more time to spend with my family and to go trekking, and of course, I would also have peace of mind. The point is not just about getting clarity and feeling good about it, but that when you have clarity, you realize that there's more than one way of getting what you truly want. In this example of somebody wanting a different job, when they realize that they're really looking for more freedom, more autonomy, more time for themselves, and peace of mind, they may also realize that there are multiple ways of doing that. Maybe by changing the teams that they are part of, maybe by changing the career that they are in, maybe by being self employed, or maybe by joining a friend who's doing a business of their own. You see, with clarity comes a lot of possible alternatives and solutions. So I really hope that you found this useful. Make sure that you subscribe. This is Divya Tampi signing off now, but I'll see you soon.